Okay, this is part number 3 of the discussion on mulch. So what you have here is a mulch pile that was just as big as the others that I showed you over on the other road over there. And this was 8 feet tall probably when I first brought it. They dropped it off here, and I've been pulling some from it over time, but in general, I believe this has been here for about 2 years. So you can see it's shrunk at least half of what it was. Decomposed. All the life got into it. All the little buggies of different sorts. And what you end up with is the best parts are like this. It's almost all millipede poo. That's the good stuff. You can see all the little balls there. And there's other stuff in here. Let me see what all I find. Some of the life is not in here today because I came in and turned this over. I've been using it. I've been bringing it out. And really, the best stuff is on the outside. Imagine this is a layer cake. In the center, there's some that's hardly decomposed. That would be like right there. That got too hot and the life really wasn't able to get to it. It probably was a little dry. But this part that's on the edge is the richest in the castings from the millipedes. You can look over here on some of the edge, and this stuff is as good as just about any compost around. There's still some larger chunks that end up getting mixed in, but underneath is the best stuff. There you go. Now, I use this in different ways. Right now I'm using it to top off beds, planting beds in my landscape project. And what I'm doing, I'm just taking the undecomposed part, just kind of mix it all up, so it's kind of a general mix. It's still got some pieces in it that gives aeration to the soil. It's good. And I use it for potting soil. I use this wire. I put it across. I tilt the bucket up. I put it across the bucket and sift it out for potting soil for pots. Sometimes I'll put a little sand and things that like a little better drainage. Then if I want seed starting mix, I put a finer screen. It's a 1/4 inch mesh. I just put that on top of this other wire, and it gets it down to a very fine. It gets pretty much all the mulch out, and it just brings the millipede castings. And as you can tell, I've been doing this here for 4 years. I've had mulch piles here, and it has enriched this whole area to where you can go pretty deep, and the soil is highly improved. Even as deep as that, it's still barely even looking like sand. So if you did this over and over, you're going to create a hellaciously good soil. You're going to just totally change the soil. Or you can just leave it like for 2 years, like I left this pile, and use it elsewhere, haul it elsewhere. It just takes a little space. It's not something you can necessarily do in a small yard. One idea I have is if you took the cattle panel rings and make a circle, a cylinder, you could put that mulch in there, and it would kind of keep it more concentrated. If you watered it, it would really speed things up too. And also, if you unpack that ring every 6 months and throw it and mix it back into the ring and water it at the same time, I bet you could get this same 2-year process in 6 months. I really think you could. I'd like to try. I think there's a fellow that's has a business. It's Mike's Organic Topsoil. He does this same process, and he makes some beautiful looking soil, just pretty much the same way, except I imagine he does more mixing. Okay, so that's the end of my 3-part series on mulch. Thank you. Bye.